Before we talk about the application materials and everything else, I want you to understand how funding works, because it is likely that you cannot fund yourself, and so you want to get funding, and I'm going to tell you all you need to know to get funding, and then I'm going to tell you about the application materials, and all of that. First of all, there are more than 5,000 universities and colleges in the US, and a good number of them provide good funding to international students. Because not all schools provide good funding, you must check on their websites that they offer good funding before you submit an application. For graduate students, that is master's and PhD students, the funding that we are interested in are fellowships, teaching assistantships, research assistantships, and graduate assistantships. Fellowships are grants or free monies that help PhD students with their research. Teaching assistantships are given to students to help with teaching, in the school. So normally teaching assistants will teach undergraduate students. Research assistants will help faculty with their research. And a GA can be a research assistant or a teaching assistant. So GA is more like general. And also a GA can be somebody who helps with administrative duties. Whatever your department may have among these options is good. It will get your visa approved and help you survive in the US. Departments tend to have one or more of these options. If you are coming to do your master's or your PhD, you don't need scholarships, because scholarships are not going to give you enough money to survive. Also understand that funding is Hi guys, welcome to today's mock session. Let me know where you're watching this from. If you have any question, leave it in the chat. So today I have Zainab with me. Zainab has a full scholarship, and so we are going to find out if she's ready for her visa interview. Zainab, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Yeah. So Zainab, why are you going to the US?
I'm going to Fort Valley State University to pursue a master's degree program in biotechnology.
Okay, why biotechnology?
Okay, I chose to study biotechnology because most of the people I work with are farmers, and day in, day out, working directly with these people, I realized that there is a big gap in researching of our staples, especially rice, maize, millet, right from planting to storage and even during post harvesting. So our farmers are really clinged to the traditional way of farming, and most of the population are dependent on rain-fed agriculture.
So how would the degree help solve that issue?
So pursuing a master's in biotechnology would really expose me to research opportunities that would help to reform our food system and also help in developing sustainable solutions to these farmers.
Okay, so why did you choose Fort Valley State University?
I applied to two schools, including Fort Valley State University and University of Bridgeport. I got admitted into the two universities. I chose to study with Fort Valley State because um, the biotechnology program aligns perfectly with my research interest. And also, after my application, the professors there, how engageful they were with me was really interesting. And then plus, I had a full scholarship at Fort Valley State University. That's why I chose Fort Valley over Bridgeport University.
So how did you come across Fort Valley State University? How did you hear about it?
I got informed of Fort Valley State University from an exchange program my school had with Fort Valley last year in March. So some of the professors and then the students of the school came down to Ghana, and then they spoke highly of the school and how flexible their curriculum is and their tuition. I it sparked my curiosity, and then I went online to make extensive research about the school, and then I realized that the school was the best fit for me.
Okay. Have you traveled outside Ghana before?
No, I haven't.
Do you have any relative in the US?
No, I do not.
Okay. And how did you get a full scholarship?
Okay, so after applying to the school and getting admission, I was navigating through the school's website, and then I realized that the position of graduate assistantship was available. So I applied to it, and then due to my undergrad grades, I was selected for an interview. So I was interviewed by the professors of the department, and it was successful, and I was selected.
Okay. What did you study during your bachelor's degree?
I studied food science technology.
Okay. And where do you currently work?
I currently work with
If you don't want to mention the name, that's okay. If you can just, use like ABC or something.
okay. I currently work with ABC as an assistant director
So
in a sub district.
what do you do?
Okay, so basically my role is to assist the coordinating director in the coordination of activities of all the decentralized departments of the district,
I see.
and then also implement and help in implementing government policies to the people of the district.
Okay. Um okay. Yeah. I mean overall it's good. So the first thing is the fact that you have a full scholarship that alone takes care of 50% of the work. So when the visa officer looks on your I-20, the fact that you have a full scholarship means they are not going to treat you like every other student, because it's like, okay, you've already done most of the work, so the rest have to do with you being able to express yourself a little bit more and being as specific as possible, which is what is kind of lacking in your answers. You are lacking the specificity because most of the things that you were saying, align, how does that align with your interest? So you can say it aligns with your interest in exploring how food is whatever that kind, that, so that makes it more specific. But if you say aligns with, it's not enough, right? If you can say aligns with, then you give a specific reason or a specific area that you are interested in, then that makes everything more complete, right? And also you you have a you have a degree in food science, right? And you currently work with farmers, right? That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will wanna start with my background because it's like everything relates to what you are coming to do, right? Biotech and then the food science, they are kind of related, right? Are they related?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I will wanna, because the thing is you are trying to give a reason why you want to study the program. So it is always better to start with your background, who you are, right? So yeah, you can say you currently work with this and this. Currently you are currently the this, and you work closely with farmers, but then you realize that the food, the crops, I don't know exactly I don't remember exactly what the things, some of the things he said, but it's more like I'm trying to tell you how to, so it's more like, yeah, this is what you do, right? Or you can even say you have a bachelor's degree in this, and you currently work with farmers, and you've realized that there is a research gap in terms of this, or the farmers use certain things, and you think it's not the best, it's not the most effective, and so you want to study this program so that you can develop your research skills and be able to look closer into these areas and be able to provide solutions when you return to Ghana after your program. That kind of thing. Anybody who hears this is okay, she's doing this, and now she wants to get this degree so that this degree will help her be able to solve this particular problem when she returns. Then that makes a lot more sense, right? But I think if you have full scholarship, sometimes you don't even have to do much, because and also you can talk, like you can express yourself, which is very important. The fact that you can express yourself means, yeah, you are not a dumb person. Some people they go and then they are not able to express themselves. I mean, if you go and then, because of the tension, because of feeling anxious and all of that, you are not able to express yourself, people can actually read through you that, okay, it's because of the nervousness and all of that. But then there are some people, they just don't know how to express themselves, right? So those ones, if you have a full scholarship and you go, then the visa officer will not be convinced, right? But in your case, you can express yourself, like, you sound like you know what you are doing, and so that alone, so I think you have a very good chance. Yeah. So yeah, just all I'm trying to say is, when you say something is best fit for you, why is it the best fit for you? That's all I'm trying to tell you. So then you try to give one line explanation of why it is a best fit for you. Does that make sense? So that's all I'm trying to tell you. Make it a bit more specific instead of saying because anybody can say it's the best fit for you, for me, right? But then the visa officer is like, okay, how is that a best fit for you? So just add it quickly and then get your visa approved. So yeah, but I think you have a very good chance. How you got to know the program makes sense. The fact that you said you did your research after you came across the school, came to your school for an exchange program, like all these things, yeah, kind of makes sense, all of that. So yeah, yeah, I don't really see any I don't really see any big issue here. So yeah, I remember you mentioned your research interests, but you said it aligns with your research interest in what, right? Any question you are asked, so long as you are trying to mention research interest, you can always talk about your research interest into improving, I don't know, farming or something, like a better way of helping farmers get higher yield or something, that kind of thing, so that it's more specific, right? So that it's like, okay, you know exactly what you want or what you are going to do. So that's all. But I think you have a very good chance. Okay, do you have any question for me?
No.
Okay. So you don't have a question, but then you asked me a question before we started the live session, so I just wanna say a few things about that, and if somebody has a different opinion, I'm willing to listen to that. So that was actually why the live session delayed a little bit, because I was trying to answer you. So your question has to do with the fact that your program start date is in the middle of January, but then your interview is going to be in the middle of February, which is more like a month after your program start date. Now the issue, so I told you that if I were you, I will try to come in fall, so reach out to the school and then let them be aware that, okay, I won't be able to get my visa in time to join in spring, and so if they can defer it. And I think if you are deferring from spring to fall, yeah, you should, most of the time you are going to keep your funding. So yeah, and
I asked you when you said you reached out to the school. I asked you when you reached out to the school. You said you reached out to the school a week ago, which I wasn't happy with in a way, because when you were getting closer to your program start date, that was when you had to send an email to the school for them to be aware. Right now the school cannot really, you've not heard back from the school, and you also reached out to just the international office, but you had to reach out to the department and the international office, because sometimes the international office might even ignore your email, but then because you reach out to the department, the department can actually fast track everything for you, through the international office. Now when you get to the port of entry, they are going to look on the I-20, and then they will realize that, your program is supposed to start in January, but you are here in February, so it's like you are late. You are not eligible to start the program. That's what I am thinking, unless the school has put something in your has put some information that kind of allows you to come late. Sometimes when I was coming in 2016, my interview was a bit late. I went for the interview on 25th. I got to the US on September 11, right? Oh, sorry, October 11. And that is not late, but those times, I think at the time my program start date was August 5, 2016. So I had to request for a late arrival letter, right? And yeah, it's just the school trying to put something in your account that, okay, we've allowed it, we've given it the permission to arrive late. So that one, yeah. But in your case, yeah, it's way more than what the school can do. I don't think the school, just like, it's like a month now, it will be like a month, right, when you go for the interview. And also after the interview, it will take a few days before you get a visa, like all these things. Then you decide on when you are coming, like, so it's probably later, and I wouldn't want to take chances like that. So the reason I'm saying this is that if somebody has a different experience, that they went 1 month later and everything at the port of entry there was no issue, then I want you guys to tell me. But I don't think that will work, because they always go with documents. In the US, they like documents a lot. They want to stick with what the documents say. And so yeah, you have to reach out to the school and see. The school is not likely to let you come this spring. And the other thing also you should look at is the fact that you are supposed to start in spring. The spring semester is already, it's a cold weather, it's a cold season, and you come in to start, and it's not easy to navigate many things in this code and all of that. And also academics are going to start. Academics have already started, right? I've already been to classes and all of that. So school has already started. You come in as a new student. Even when you start with everybody, it's not easy, and you are coming 1 month later, it's going to be brutal for you. You are going to struggle. I remember this story of a friend, who went to Ghana during the break. He came 1 week after class, right? And the class, when he joined, he struggled, and so he had to pause. He had to take a break from the program and then join. He was already a citizen, so he was able to do that. So you have to it's not easy like that. So that's why I'm trying to tell you that, yeah, don't come now, and yeah, get to the school. Make sure the school gets to you, like replies your message, and you still have some time before middle of February, for your interview. And so try to reach out to your department, reach out to the international office again. They get a lot of emails, and it's very easy for them to skip emails and all of that. I have an interview that I recorded, and I am yet to post that, about a friend, more like a mentee, in a way, at some point. And when he was going to Canada, his visa delayed. His visa processing took more than 4 months or so, because of because they ignored his messages and stuff like that. So yeah, my point is, I reach out to the school, and then whatever they tell you, go with it. If they tell you you can still come, then you come. If they tell you you cannot come, don't come. If they don't tell you anything, don't come, right? So that's my opinion. And if anybody has something else to say, I am always willing to listen to different experiences, because there are so many things that students will ask me that I never went through. Like so many things I try to always kind of do things, make sure I am familiar with everything, do what I need to do, and then just go through smoothly. But a lot of issues come up, right? Sometimes because maybe the student didn't have the kind of information that I had, right? I had somebody who was guiding me, so maybe you didn't have that information, and so you made a mistake, and then you have to go back and then try to correct it. So all these things come up. So I'm willing to listen to what anybody has to say about some of these things. So Zainab, you have a very good chance, and I am very, very, very sure that they are going to give you your GA. Like, I'm very sure they will keep it for you. So yeah, reach out to the school, and then hopefully everything goes well. Okay, and I wish you the best. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's look at the comment section and try to answer a few questions. So Benson is here. Benson says, I have 3 interviews ahead. Any tips for a successful one? That's the fact that you have 3 interviews is a good sign that you're likely to get a good offer. So that's good. Congrats, for getting those interviews. Now, when it comes to interviews, right? It depends. They can ask you some theoretical questions like, what is matter? What is energy? What is this, right? Depending on your field, they can ask you questions like that. That is one side. Another side is they can ask you about why do you think you are a good fit for the program? What have you been doing in the last 2 years, or what did you study, and stuff about your background, right? Your current job, what exactly you do in your current job, what is your research interest, what can you contribute, and if you have taught before, they can ask you about your teaching experiences, how you teach, and like what you've learned over the years. So those questions can also come up. So it depends on the kind of questions you get, but these are normally what is going to come up, right? So be familiar with all these things, and spend some time on the school's website, the programs page actually, and then try to look at what they do, how the research areas of faculty and stuff like that. Just get some idea about, so that if those things come up, you'll be able to answer them very well. So good luck to you. And I think there are a lot of interviews, a lot of such interviews on YouTube that can help you. There are a few things that have helped with these things, but when you go through something, it is a different thing. Like, you spend a lot more time trying to prepare yourself, so it's like you become very good at it. I never had to interview for a GA position, right? When I was at Hawaii University, I got this job, a research job in the school, which I had to interview for. But it was more like a GA, but they were paying me hourly. They were paying me almost twice what those campus jobs were paying. But it is not the typical, because I already had a tuition waiver from my department, right? I was doing information and telecommunication system and the IT program, my second master's program. So they were taking care of. So I got a tuition waiver. That's why I was working there, so that I was I was making that extra money, and so that is not like a typical GA. But so those interviews, it depends. It's more like the things that I've told you, right? They just try to master these things, and I think you'll be fine. And also dress well, make sure you are on time and be yourself. Like, be as clear as possible. Check your network, make sure you don't frustrate them. My friend who is in Canada, like, when he had his interview, he was frustrated. Like, his internet wasn't allowing him to communicate and all of that. There were a lot of issues with the network, a lot of interruptions, but his supervisor was very kind, and and all of that, was patient with him. You might not get it like that, you might get it like that. So but try and then get a good network, and just these white people, they are not they are not bad people. Like, you can meet a lot of good people, like a lot of, so just try to be yourself, right? The fact that they even want to talk to you means they like you, they've seen your profile, your CV, or all these things, and they like it, right? And so they think you can be a good fit. That is already a good thing. Not many people get interviews, so just feel like you deserve it, and when you go, be confident. If you don't know, so this is I think my interview with Desmond is an interesting one. Like, you are going to see so many things. his all these things will come up, and it's really one that you are going to enjoy. It's actually a long interview because, and even we had to stop at some point. Like I had more questions, but I had to because his story is crazy. Like he applied to so many countries and rejections until Canada, full funding and all these things. So yeah, so you guys should look forward to that, and it will be on the ShaiPod. Okay, so if you have not subscribed to the ShaiPod, please do that. It will help me a lot in terms of the kind of people that I'm going to attract, and the kind of I can actually get you all the answers you are looking for, so long as I have enough people, because that's just how the world works, right? If the more people you have, the more people wanna talk to you, right? So yeah, I hope you guys understand, and you guys subscribe to that channel as well. All right, so Isa is here as always. Okay, Karen as always from Nigeria. Yesterday, I don't think I saw Momoni from South Africa. I don't think I saw him. That just came to mind. Kingo, how do I get interviewed here? I will be going for my interview on April 10th. Yeah, so after this live session, I'll post something in the Telegram page, just a few details, and then you can send those things to me, and then I'll go ahead and then interview you. Now, sometimes if you're interested in just study abroad, let's say you're not at a visa interview level yet, right, stage yet, you can still watch mock session, because look at Zainab, right? I gave her the option of mentioning the name of her school or not. She decided to mention it, and she got full scholarship, right? Which means if you are compiling a list of schools, this is one school you can actually add to your list and then try to. It doesn't mean automatically you're going to get full scholarship, no. But then you can take the school and then do your research, and then maybe your program may have funding and all of that. So that, yeah. So if you really want to study abroad, all these little things are very important, right? That's just the way it is. IT from Ghana, Emmanuel from Accra, Ghana. Queen Raymond is here from Nigeria. The queen of LinkedIn, Ike from Tadi, Ghana. Ikra from Ghana. Leslie is also familiar. Augusta was here yesterday. Hello, Shai. If I'm asked why I chose a school, can I add that I got a fully funded GA from there as one of my reasons for choosing it? Yeah, there is. So we don't choose schools because of funding. We choose schools because of what the school can do for you, right? The research opportunities, maybe the practical nature of the school, like maybe the curriculum, like those things are the reasons we choose a school, right? Maybe you did your research, you came across these things that the school offer, that's why you chose that school. So funding can be a reason, but then it should be secondary. It should be more like your third reason or something. That's my thing. If you say funding is your main reason and then you have a deficit, it's like, okay, you cannot even fund your study, so that's why you are so interested in this funding thing, right? But funding is a good thing. Funding shows that you are an intelligent student and all of that, but it shouldn't be the main reason. That's my point. Like there should be other things before funding. So you can mention funding, but then it shouldn't be the first thing you say. Okay, it's more like a bonus, right? Pretty May says, hello Shai, I'm watching from Nigeria. Okay, Niger. Augusta says, also it's requested for an I-20 around April, too late to get a date. No, you can get it. You can actually start looking for dates in July, and you get a date. Right? You can still get a date in July, and even in August. I remember the story of Joda's first interview, right? She had GA, right? She was denied, and then she reached out for coaching. She reached out in July, and then we went through the answers, everything, her story. We changed everything was fine, but then the issue was dates. So she was hunting until August, middle of August, so that was when she got a date, and then she went, and then she was approved, and then she was able to come in time to start a program, and now she's in a program. Oh, yesterday I shared something in the on my WhatsApp channel, right? I share something there, so anytime I share something on my channel, my assistant is able to forward it, because in WhatsApp channel you get to add other people as admin. So whenever I share something, that thing came from Joda, right? I put it there at Joda, right? So Oklahoma State University. If you don't know about that, you can also add that school to your list and then explore it, right? Okay, so Peter is from Kenya. Okay, nice. Glenn Angels, hi Glenn. Simeon says, hi Shai. When the visa officer asks me what do you currently do, but I don't have a formal job, I am a volunteer for some local organizations. Can I say I work there, or can I say I'm a volunteer and explain? So, you know, if you're a volunteer, you are working there in a way. If you want to think about it, if I'm a volunteer for at a place, yes, I'm working there. So you can say you are working there. Here in the US, right? When you finish your program and then you are doing OPT and you don't get a job, you can actually work as a volunteer, so that can be your OPT, right? So a volunteer is still a job. It is better than, because sometimes the volunteer might not be too convincing. The visa like, volunteer, you are a volunteer, right? That kind of thing. It also depends on when you finish school, right? If let's say you just finished school, or maybe a year ago, and you are volunteering, yeah, there is nothing wrong with volunteering, right? So it depends. You can say you are working there and describe what you do and all of that, but make sure you are working there. All right. Steven says, great work, Shai. Please, how do I get interviewed there? I'll be going for my interview. Okay. So yeah, like this, I said, right, you have to first be in the Telegram page, and then once I share the thing, you can send your details, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Peter says, okay, I think Raymond from Ghana. Dr. Doom says, I have masters in management and going for another masters in MBA. How can I convince them that I'm going for another masters at the embassy? So the thing is that if you have good funding, they might not even care, right? In my interview with John, right, John Mensah, he had a master's in computer science in China, and then he was coming to the US to do another master's in computer science, right? In the video, he talked about the interview experience and what he said and all of that. So it's about you. You can always find a way around this, right? And even in my visa interview coaching course, there are some sample answers and all of that, and also how to answer questions like that. So Raymond says, God richly bless you. Jacob says, I've completed my professional exam. I'm left with 2 papers. Can I indicate on the DX1C that I am a final level student of ICAG? I've been admitted to pursue MBA. Sometimes I've made videos about the DX1C form in the last 2 videos actually of the DX1C form in the last 6 months or so, but sometimes I forget questions in the DX1C form. It's just because I just do it and then forget about it. So you have a bachelor's degree already, so you can just stick to your bachelor's degree, and then the exam thing, I don't know how that really helps you. The ICAG, was that helpful with in you getting the master's degree program? I don't think so, right? And the most important thing is, anytime you are worried about something, it means that get funding. If you get funding, you wouldn't have to worry about these things, because the funding will take care of these things quickly, right? All right. Mary Chris says, when do we start getting invites from schools for PhD admission? So every school is different. Okay, I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but so schools will tell you that application deadline is let's say February 15. What that means is that you might not get admission decision until maybe ending of February. So if we are still in January, it means there is nothing to worry about. But then there are some schools who will tell you deadline is in February or March, and you can still get admission and funding in January. Like in my case, when I was going to higher university, right? So it depends on how strong your application is. Maybe if you say something so good, they look at it and they're like, oh, well, this person, we don't think there is anybody who is going to submit something better than this person. So then the other people, they have to wait until March or even April, right? Sometimes they can make admission decision in January or February, but then funding will take time. So you still have to. It's not like it doesn't mean anything. Somebody reached out and was like on TikTok and was like she's not here from the school in terms of admission and funding, and so she doesn't know if it's a bad sign. I said, no, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you've been denied or accepted. No, it doesn't mean anything. There is still time. Just just wait. All right. Okay. Queen is here. Queen says you'll be asked questions about what's on your CV, techniques and skills you've mentioned on your CV. So just get used to it. Okay. Queen Raymond with the experience is giving Benson Mark. what I like about some of you guys is that, okay, so let me tell you guys, I am actually in all the groups. The number that you guys are familiar with is not the number that I used to be on the group, right? I have my own number which is in the group. So even when I had access to, so even when I was using the other number, the one that you people are aware of, I was still in the group. So I'm still in the group, but that number, I don't respond to any message. I don't want you guys to go and look for that number and try to send me message, but I'm in the group. That number has never commented in the group before, in any of the groups before. But I see you guys, some of you are very helpful. In group 3, there is a Nigerian guy. Is it Donald Chuku or something? Right? There's a Nigerian guy. I think anytime I open, he tries to help out and all of that. Right? I don't remember the name, but so I like to see things like this, right? And in group 2, you can see Nana, and then Neko too. In group 3, she answers questions sometimes and all that. And then you can see Megasin in group 2. Like, I see you guys, right? I see you guys, just that yeah, I like it, right? I like to see, other students helping others on the journey, because that's just the way it is. We all need help. So that's why I like the fact that Queen is helping out, giving answers based on her experience, because she's had some interviews, right? When I interviewed Queen, she talked about her interview. So this is a good thing, right? And Queen also answers questions in group 2. Queen also. Yeah, so Donald Chuku. Okay, let's say Donald Chuku, right? Donald Chuku, yeah. Then okay, Augusta says, please, I'm here as always. Yeah, Augusta, yeah. So the thing about life is that sometimes the one who makes the first move actually has an advantage. So even if Karen doesn't join the live session in 1 year, right? Let's say from now to maybe 2026, I will always remember Karen, because she set herself apart from the beginning. So it's like my brain registered her name like that. That's just the way it is, right? So when you come later, then it's like it will take time. So there are people like, Karen, Momeni, Raymond, Abdul Nasser. Like, it's like these people, from the beginning they were around. So it's like you cannot forget them like that, right? It take a lot. So, and also Kehinde has been familiar. Okay, Kehinde, I think I've seen this Kehinde in the group and also on Facebook. Kehinde, I think so. Okay, Mary Chris says, I mean, invite for an interview. Mary Chris, do you mean the study abroad, my study abroad plans, right? If that is the case, you can reach out to me. I don't know, on TikTok. So on TikTok, I respond to messages, right? On TikTok, but if you want, you can also reach out to my assistant on WhatsApp and or on Telegram as well, right? So and then we'll see from that. Okay, so GFF says speak slowly. Okay, speak slowly. I guess it's me. I know few people have told me I speak too quickly, so I don't know, maybe it's me. Sometimes, okay, the thing is that there are certain things, they are just the way they are, right? You cannot really, and that's why YouTube allows you to slow videos down. So you can always slow the video down, right? YouTube allows you to slow videos down. So that is an option for you, right? Okay. Who else? Dada says watching from Nigeria. Okay. Glenn just says, Shai, I have messages. I have messages. Okay, you've messaged the career services at NIU about GA, but they want you to message from NIU email, which means that you need to get admission first. NIU email, you can only get that after you have admission. Is it after admission or after you've submitted an application? I've even forgotten. But one of them, but you have to create an email, and then you can use that email. So I think maybe after you submit an application, you get to create an email also. I don't remember. Okay, so Ike says, okay, you're doing an amazing job. Okay, Glenn just says, okay, can I upload additional documents on a school admission portal 1 week after submitting the application? You have to check if they allow you to do that, then you can do that, right? So you can log in and then see if they allow you to do that. Dada says, if anyone gets the waiver, is it a good sign that admission is most likely to come? A current PhD student at the university told me once waiver is gotten, admission will surely come. No, it's not true. It's not like it's not in this process. There is nothing that is automatic. Now, you can get a waiver, but a waiver doesn't mean you are going to get admission. No, it doesn't work like that, right? You know, Desmond got a waiver, and then he got a waiver. He didn't even ask for the waiver; they just gave it to him, and then he didn't even get admission, right? So yeah, it just doesn't work like that. It depends. In some instances, it can be a good sign, but nah, there is nothing automatic about the process. Okay, so Dada says, I still have this doubt, even though I have been contacted both by the Director of Graduate Recruitment Committee and the Graduate Coordinator to submit my application, even after the deadline has passed. Yeah, when the deadline passes like that, I don't know. And another thing is that in life, everybody's life is different. Sometimes you can do it late and you get something. Sometimes you do it and you not get something. So it is not like one size fits all. No, everybody's life is different. So go with your instinct. If you feel like, okay, it will work. Yeah, this is not an advice I can give you, right? You know your history, the kind of person you are. Maybe you have that kind of luck. Fine, then you can go ahead and then. So, okay. Zainab says, please, someone said when you wear a complete suit for the interview, it seems you are desperate, but I do have a beautiful complete suit I want to wear for my upcoming interview. Please, your thoughts. So, if you are a business person, then you want to wear a complete suit because you are a business person. You are showing that, okay, when you go to the US for your business meeting, you are going to return and all of that. But if you are a student, you don't have to wear a suit. No, you can just wear a long sleeve, nice wet long sleeve. You can actually, if you want, you can tuck in nicely for you to look like a student, right? Look like, like a serious student, but not like suit. Suit is too much, right? Yeah, I want you to iron your shirts very well, and ideally tuck in with your nice shoe, nice trousers, like well ironed. That's what I want. Yeah, you look like a student with your nice pen, like in your pocket, in your front pocket or something. Yeah, that one is good. But the clothes has to look like expensive, nice, and all of that, but not suit. Suit is more like for business people. Okay. Leslie says, I don't do TikTok, but because of Shai, I may have to swallow my pride and open one just for Shai. Hey, Leslie. Yeah, I never did TikTok. I didn't like TikTok. I'm telling you, like, this is me being honest. When TikTok came, I never had an account on TikTok until last year. My first account on TikTok was last year, and that account was not really that serious like that. It became serious this April. My channel on TikTok actually started last April actually. Oh no, so there's a mistake. So I mean 2023 August. That was when I think I created my TikTok account, but that account wasn't really active until last year, April 2024. That was when I started posting all those visa interview stuff, and so that was when the channel took off, and yeah, and then here we are. So Nana Kwame says, please add me to the group. I have my interview on. I think the instructions I gave were very clear enough. Nana Kwame. All right, so I think I can read TikTok messages today. Let me check TikTok today. Okay, I am you says I am Ellie today. Okay, I am Ellie from Ghana. Okay, that's good. I am you. Nice. Nina from Ghana. Boachua says I'm an undergraduate student in Ghana and I want to study in the US with no SAT. Can you? If you don't have SAT, you're not going to get full scholarship, right? If you don't have SAT and your family can sponsor you, yes, you can. With your high school certificates and stuff like that, you can get like up to 50%, around 50%, maybe 55% or something. And that is going to leave you with a deficit, right? If you want a full scholarship, you have to take the SAT. Yeah, that's just the way it is. So if you don't want to take the SAT, it means you don't want full scholarship. It means your family can take care of the rest. If you're an undergraduate student and then you don't have a good scholarship and you might struggle. It is very important that you have something to rely on if you're an undergraduate student, because the way undergraduate scholarships work is that it is based on intelligence only. For graduate students, it might not be intelligent, but because you're coming to be a GA or RA or something, or TA, and you don't have to be so intelligent. Which means you don't have to have the GRE to get a GA. But undergraduate students, the SAT is very objective, right? It kind of shows that you are definitely intelligent if you have a good SAT score. So that's why you need to have it if you want a full scholarship. That's just the way it is, right? So if you know your parents cannot sponsor you, it means you have extra work to do. I've told you guys that for some of us, because of our background, if you are from a poor background, right, you are not likely. Rich people are more likely to inherit good health. Rich people are more likely to inherit intelligence, more talented. If your parents are rich, you are more likely to be very talented. Like if you look at LeBron James, right? Look at it, he and his son, right? Because of his talents, his son was able to inherit those things. Like it's not like automatic, but in most cases, you actually. And it is not like the universe is against anybody. The universe is about, who is smarter. If you are smarter, you gain an advantage over those who are not smarter. Like, that's just the way it is. So if you are from a family where they are not rich or something, it means that you are already disadvantaged in terms of natural talent, in terms of resources to help you to become better. You don't have all these things. So in your case, what will help you is hard work beats talent, that phrase. So it means you have to work 2 times more than a rich person or 3 times more than a rich person. That is the only way you can overtake that person, because the person is already ahead of you, like in everything, right? So if your parents are not rich, it means you have to take the SAT and you have to kill yourself. If you have to sleep 4 hours and get through the door, you have to do that. That is just the way life is. That is how you can equate what you can equate your life to that of a rich person, a rich person's child, right? It's not fair, but this is the way it is. And so that if you work harder, your children will inherit the things you did, right? The smartness and all the things, the good choices you made, and so that they will also have an advantage of another person. But the fact is that there will always be poor people, there will always be rich people. Just that sometimes positions can change, but these things will always be there. So you have to decide where you want to be, right? It's not easy at all. It's not easy, and it's not fair, but it is what it is. All right. Okay. It's so easy to miss comments because they keep coming. It's just easy to. Okay. Where am I? So Boachua says recommend schools that admit, that give guarantee scholarships, or schools that cover tuition fee. Boachua, the process doesn't work like that, right? You have to understand the process, how the study abroad process works. There are so many schools that give full scholarship. There are so many schools that give almost every school gives graduate assistantship, depending on the program. Not every program. So it's like, there are so many things you have to understand about the process. It's not like schools that give full scholarship. No, you have to understand the process, right? And if you go on YouTube and you spend some time on my YouTube channel, you are going to learn a lot of things. And if you are still not clear about the process, I am making a study abroad course which is going to break down everything, and I'm going to suggest so many schools that you can actually consider based on familiarity, full scholarships, all these things, so that you can go through, you can take advantage of them. But Wale says, can I join you? If it's for the mock session, I think I've given the information. You just have to be in the Telegram page, and then you get to be chosen. It's not automatic, right? It depends. Asoja, okay, hi Asoja. Emmanuel says, I really admire how you really are to us. So okay, Emmanuel says, I'm just waiting for decisions from the schools I applied for 2025. Decisions have not been made yet. There is time. You have to wait until after the application deadline in most cases before you can actually so there is time. Nothing to worry about, and let's hope for the best. Kobe Smith says, what are some courses for masters you can do at the research field? Courses. This question. Courses. There's nothing like courses that you have to do. You just have to get your bachelor's degree and then use your bachelor's degree, apply for masters, and that's it, right? If you have any research you want to do, you do it in your 4th year, right? Your thesis. Yeah, that will give you some research skills and stuff like that. Emmanuel says, I can't wait to apply all the tips I have learned from all your YouTube videos. Yeah, that's good. That's good to to read. Royal Eminence says, I got support from Empower and some scholarship from the school. Am I safe with well, I mean, if you got some scholarship, how much is that? How much is the Empower loan, right? Empower loan thing, all of you know I don't like Empower. Even if you're going for a loan of 10,000, I will not support it. But if you think that is what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Maybe when you arrive, you will understand why I don't like loans. But at the end of the day, everybody's life is different. I mean, just go ahead and do what makes you happy, right? I cannot tell you how to live your life. But if you, yeah, I don't know. I will not tell you to go for loan. That's all, right? Nana Cute, hi. Nana Cute, him, hi. Okay, Hypton. What is going? What do you mean? Okay, Samuel sent me rules and yeah, other stuff. Okay, thank you. My missus, how do I join the group? So okay, this question is from TikTok. So once you click on the link on my TikTok page, it will take you to all the links, right? It's one link that leads you to all the links. So once you click on that link, you see all the links. Okay. Hi MBS. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question. Okay. Sagacious lady says, what if I have IELTS, please? IELTS is just to prove that you can speak English and you can write English, right? So if you are from an English speaking country where the language of instruction was English, you don't need IELTS, right? So yeah, unless some schools may still require it, just a few schools, but you can avoid those schools, so you don't have to take IELTS, right? It depends on your country. Eric says, please, how can we write a resume as an undergrad with only leadership position in JHS? So check my CV video, right? The CV video has a lot of sections, right? So just look at what applies to you. I made that video, I designed that CV to have a lot of things so that yeah, you can adapt it to your level, right? PhD, masters, like every level, so that yeah, so just do that. Okay. Hi, the black Prof Bless says, how can one take part of the mock session? Yeah, I think I've explained this so many times. The black Lily says, I'm waiting for admission. Okay, let's hope for the best. Yeah, you have a question, the black. Go ahead and you said what? Can I request and ask about my questions? You can always ask questions. Okay, once you see me live, just ask your question. Miss Ola says, please guys, how can I pay for an application fee from Nigeria to UK? ATM cards are not working for that. So if you want to pay application fee, the best option is to reach out to somebody in the US and then have some kind of arrangement with that person so that the person can help you out, right? That is what you can do, because yeah, if you cannot pay it, then you need help, so you need to reach out to somebody who can help you out, right? I thought I was okay. Well, interesting. Okay, so where are we? Miss Sola says, okay, well, I think TikTok, we are done with the questions, right? I have answered all the questions here. If I skipped it, then ask it next week. Okay, it's easy to forget some to skip some of these things. All right. Data says the waiver process is like a mini application. I uploaded my application document, it was evaluated, and I got an email from the recruitment committee telling me that after 2 weeks of application, then go ahead and then it can be a good sign. But I want you to understand that there is nothing like automatic funding. You still have to submit a competitive application. It's all about your application materials, and it is not even just about you, but also other things like who you are competing with, and also who is submitting reference letter for you. So that is out of your control, right? So all these things, they consider everything, like everything together. So yeah, it's not straightforward like that. Okay. Sophia says, please, how can I join the Telegram page? Check the link in the description of this video, or any of my videos, or on the main page of my channel. There is a link there. Once you click on the link, it will lead you to all the links, right? If you want to join the Telegram page, the WhatsApp group, if you want to follow me on Instagram, if you want to follow me on Facebook, yeah, you guys should follow me on Instagram so that you can see some of the things that I post there, and yeah, so it will lead you to all the links, right? So I think I am going to okay, let me answer this last question on TikTok, and then Sagacious Lady, we still have 4 minutes. So Sagacious Lady says, so please, so SAT is more recommended than IELTS. Yeah, SAT is the most important thing when it comes to undergraduate applications. If you're coming to do masters or PhD, you don't need SAT. SAT is for undergraduate students, okay? IELTS, you don't need IELTS, okay? So just the SAT. If you take the SAT and then you do well, yeah, you have a very good chance to get a full scholarship. But if you get a good SAT score, it doesn't mean it's automatic. I keep saying it means that you have done 50% of the work, right? It means you're almost there. So that's what I want you to understand. So yeah, TikTok, you guys, thank you so much. And let me look at YouTube, and then we can end on YouTube. Today I didn't see Neneka. I have not seen Edwin. I have not seen Nana. But yeah, everybody's busy these days. It's not easy, man. Judge says, I have 62k scholarship out of 75 of my cost of attendance for undergrad. My deficit is basically 13k. My visa has been denied twice with a different school. Any advice for me? Well, your scholarship is very good. I think, if you do some, I don't know why you were denied. It's just difficult to tell, because yeah, your scholarship did 50% of your work for you, but yeah, it's life, things happen. So yeah, you have to figure out what happened, and then try to go again. And yeah, you have to find out why, because there is a reason why you were denied. Visa officers, they will not deny your visa just like that. No, there is always a reason why they will deny your visa. Okay. John says, can I still apply for 2025 by this time? Please don't. You can do that. Application deadline, some of them are in February, in March, but for me, the process is already very difficult, very competitive, and think about the fact that applications open in September, October, November, December, January, February. Okay, well, let's say you submitted February, so February, that's like 6 months. Thousands of people have already submitted applications. You are now like, I will not do that. But if you feel like you want to do it, yeah, go ahead and then do it. Everybody's life is different, like I said. Okay, like I always say. Okay, Karen says, shall admission anxiety won't finish me here? Oh, Karen, admission anxiety. So yeah, it is normal. It is normal to feel like that. Everybody feels, anxious about things. It is because we are humans. We are worried about, if this doesn't work, what will happen? What can I do? Like my interview with Desmond, the interview, there are so many things in that, Desmond, like, he wanted to give up so many things, because he applied to Finland, he applied to the UK, the US, he applied to Korea, like all these things, and before he ended up in Canada. So sometimes these things happen, like but in your case, Karen, we are still in January, so there is time. I'm very sure things will work out for you. Okay, Karen, don't worry. Okay, you get funding and you come. Okay, don't worry about it. Granny just says, a school is asking me to apply even in March against summer term. What do you mean by against summer term? Which means to come in summer. I will not apply to come in summer. Summer is not the time that you are going to get good funding. Yeah, it's possible you can get funding, right? But yeah, I would not want to come in summer, because the probability of getting good funding is very low, very low. So it is not a good idea, right? It's not a good idea. I will not. I have never applied to start in spring. I have never applied to start in summer. Always it was fall, because fall is when they have a lot of funding and all of that, where every program that gives funding will give funding in fall. But some programs, they don't give funding at all in spring, and they don't even give admission in spring, and of course not in summer as well. So yeah, I always tell you guys that I try to be as honest as possible. I try to tell you everything that I need to tell you based on everything I know from my life and from the lives of other people that I've helped over the years, right? But always there are biases when it comes to these things. So yeah, I can tell you something, I can even make a mistake. It's possible. So whatever it is, when I tell you something, feel free to, adapt it to your life, your story, or whatever, or try to, make it better, or try to look for other ways, maybe if I'm wrong, so that you can correct yourself. But I try to give you the best, and I try to give you something based on what Bernard Boy will call try, tested, and approved. Try, tested, no, he said tested, approved, and trusted, right? Yeah, something. I think I reversed it. So that's what I try to do, right? Yeah. Glen Angel says the school says there is assistantship. So yeah, so Glen Angel, yeah, there is nothing so far for me to think there is anything bad, right? Except that the time. But if the school is giving you assurances and you are sure you've done your research, you've checked the school's page, and you believe in yourself, you have a feeling that things are going to go well for you, then go ahead and submit the application, okay? And good luck to you. Sheldon says, please, I'm going for fall 2025 and my interview date is February. Is it too early, and please, can it affect my visa interview? No, you can go for the interview in February. No, there is nothing wrong with it. You can go for the interview in February, okay? Shaban says, please, how can you get admission with HND evaluated transcript? If you're a Ghanaian, your HND will not be evaluated to a US degree, right? And for you to get a master's, you need to evaluate your transcript so that for you to do master's or PhD, you need to have a US degree equivalent. And so if you evaluate your HND and then it becomes a US degree equivalent, then you can apply to master's or PhD. If you are from Ghana, your HND will be a 3-year undergraduate studies in the US, right? So that will not help you do masters. But if you're a Nigerian, then that will help you. Then you can evaluate your transcript and then it will become a US degree, and then you can use that to apply for masters and PhD, right? So it is very important to know where you come from, and because I have a video on this, like I have a full video on this, so you can check that video out. And but if you have HND and you want to do your bachelor's degree, the HND is evaluated. It's going to be evaluated to a US degree, a 3-year US undergraduate degree, right? Undergraduate study, which means that you are applying as a transfer student. You are not likely to get any good scholarship. So yeah, if you are looking for scholarship, then yeah, probably do masters and then come and do probably do the top up in your home country, get a degree, and then apply for masters. And while you are doing the degree, try and then do well and finish with a good GPA, right? That's what I can tell you. Yeah, that is what Nenekwa is doing right now, right? She has HND and now she's doing a top up so that she can get a degree and then come here. But she has already started the study abroad process, compiling a list of schools and reaching out to schools and stuff. She's doing all the work so that when she's ready, she doesn't have to do anything. She's just adding more schools to her list. That's what she's doing, right? So yeah, Shaban, you are from Ghana, your HND, yeah. So get a top up, okay? Get a top up, right? So thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your time. And next week Saturday, I don't have anybody I'm going to interview for my study abroad plans. Nobody has sent me anything, right? If I don't have anybody, then when I come, we can just do normal study abroad, answering questions, trying to understand what is going on, and then give my opinion on certain things. Yeah, we can still do live session on Saturday. So yeah, but yeah, the thing about my study abroad plans is that I think it helps. I didn't really think about anything like this. It was credit to Nanekia, Edwina, and then Nana. Those three, yeah, they made me start this. So yeah, it helps you in a way. It gives you confidence. You might think you cannot do it. Naneka always comes to mind because Naneka, she felt like she was shy and all those things, but she did it, and then she did so well. Like everything was perfect. So yeah, And Queen, my live session with Queen, right? The thing ended a bit late, right? Like a few seconds late, and you could hear Queen saying that she was nervous, right? And but she wanted to break through that, and she actually broke through that very well. Like when you look at the shot we did, the shot that I posted, you can see that yeah, she was excellent. So sometimes you have to decide to break through the resistance, because there will always be resistance. Anytime you want to do something, your brain will tell you, don't do it, it's tiring, or you are going to fail, but you have to do it. If you only want to do something because you feel it, then you can never succeed in life. It doesn't work like that. When I'm going to make a video, it's not like I feel like making a video. No. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it, but you have to do it because yeah, DT calls, so you have to still do it, break through the resistance and do it. So yeah, that is what I can tell you. So you guys should do it. You guys should try, and then I don't know, but I think it's a good initiative. But I mean, it depends. Some people are also concerned about people knowing about their plans, but the reality is that anybody who sees you here already it's also in the process. It's also trying to come here. Like that's why the person will see you here. Right? So it means the person is also trying to come. So there is nothing to be worried about, right? You just have to try, because this is more like an interview before an interview, for the sake for those who might get interviews, right? This is more like getting yourself ready for an interview in a way, right? So yeah, and I don't believe, I know, yeah, everybody is different. I don't believe anybody can, if you tell somebody your plans, I don't think anybody can. If the person knows how to bring you down spiritually, they should use that spiritual thing to bring themselves up and come here. No. Those things, I don't believe in those things, and I don't think so. Yeah, so I'm taking to I say yeah, nice having you guys around, and I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.
Welcome to my first video. My name is Shaibu. The goal of this channel is first to help students get admission and funding into schools abroad. Secondly, to help students get their visas approved. And finally, to help students navigate through life in a foreign country.